All right, let's get into lesson 3, inner seasons. Why healing moves like weather, not willpower. One of the quietest lies modern culture teaches us is that progress should always look like forward motion, more energy, more clarity, more output, as if a healthy life were a straight row planted once and harvested endlessly, never needing rest, never going fallow. How's that working for Big Ag? But no one who has tended a real garden believes that. Gardens move in seasons because life does. There are times when the soil is ready to receive seed, and there's times when growth explodes almost faster than you can keep up. Times when everything slows and turns inward, and times when decay itself becomes the most important work happening in the system. None of these seasons are mistakes, because each one is necessary, and your body follows the same laws. Healing does not arrive because you want it to. It arrives because conditions are right. You can't force spring by yelling at frozen ground, and you can't keep a garden producing without eventually exhausting the soil. When people try to heal through sheer willpower, they often end up repeating the same cycle of effort and collapse, mistaking burnout for personal weakness instead of seasonal mismatch. So this lesson is about learning to tell the difference between effort that supports life and the effort that violates that timing. In a garden, winter is not failure. It's a containment phase. Roots deepen, pathogens die back. The system conserves energy so it can survive what it cannot change. If you tried to plant tomatoes in January, you wouldn't call the soil broken when nothing grew. You'd recognize that you were asking the wrong thing at the wrong time. Yet many people do exactly that with their bodies. They try to initiate change when the system is asking for rest. They try to expand when the body needs containment. They try to move on when something still needs to compost. And when nothing responds, they blame themselves. Seasonal literacy removes that blame. There are times in human life that are for planting, new habits, new medicines, new directions. These are the seasons that feel hopeful and energetic, and ideas catch quickly. Change feels possible, but these seasons are not permanent, and they are not owed to us on demand. There are also times for growth, where effort actually works, where routines stabilize, where the body responds with strength. These are the seasons people love and often try to stretch far past their natural limits. Then there are seasons of harvest and seasons of decline. Times when what is grown must be gathered, simplified, or allowed to end. These seasons often come with grief, fatigue, or disillusionment. Not because something went wrong, but because something ran its course. And then finally there are fallow seasons. This is the season most people resist the hardest. The season where little seems to happen on the surface. Energy drops, motivation wanes, old strategies stop working, the body pulls inward. In a garden, this is when the soil is rebuilding itself through decay. In a human being, this is when deep repair happens, out of sight, beyond productivity. If you try to override a fallow season with discipline, you compact the soil. You interrupt regeneration. You make the next growth weaker and short-lived. This lesson invites you to stop asking, what should I be doing? And start asking, what season am I actually in? So for today's practice, I invite you to sense, not analyze, your current inner season. Does your body feel like early spring, tentative, sensitive, easily overwhelmed, or like high summer, capable, active, productive, or like autumn, ready to release, simplify, harvest, or grieve, or like winter, needing rest, containment, and minimal demand? There's no better answer. Each season has work that only it can do. So then sit with these questions gently. Where have I been demanding growth when my body was asking for rest? What season do I judge myself for being in? Judgment often reveals where we've been taught to value output over life. So this lesson is not asking you to stop acting forever. It's asking you to act in season. So when you plant at the right time, You don't need to force growth. When you honor winter, spring arrives on its own. Healing is not a race across terrain. It's a relationship with time. And once you learn to read the seasons, you stop fighting the weather and you start working with it, one honest cycle at a time.